You're listening to the Watercooler Edit with Chris and Rich.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with my Bayut, with myself Eman and Richard.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. So obviously, since this is 2024 and this is our first episode of the new year, and considering that we are a property portal, we will be speaking about the property market.
That we will.
Yes, exactly. And basically what we're going to be doing is just sharing our insights on all of the different industries across the UAE and just share any interesting facts and figures that we've found. So obviously this episode we just have the one topic, and it's a pretty big topic, and it's something that's been a hot topic for a lot of different people in living in the UAE, right? Whether you're renting, whether you're looking to buy anything, I think everyone has realized that the property market here has exploded.
Yes, I mean, I think this is the thing, right? This is going to be, it is quite a topic. We could do a series of podcasts on this. We could be one a week for a year, to be honest,
exactly.
you know. It's a very interesting time for UAE real estate across the board, right? And I think that's very much reflected in the Bayut market reports, which we will be talking about.
And basically, we start off each of our episodes by sharing an interesting fact. It could be something that is related to our lives, it could be something that's related to the podcast, the topic that we're discussing, or just something interesting that we've learned. Considering this is the first time that we're doing this, I'll make this one easy and we'll relate it back to the topic at hand, which is obviously the property market report. And so, my interesting fact is that if you are not already aware, so My Bayut publishes market reports that are done half yearly, that are done yearly, which basically summarize what has happened in the market and gives you insight and data to better equip you with all of the information that you need. And unsure if a lot of people are aware of this or not, but this time we've actually published 5 of them. So we've published Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, and now Ras Al Khaimah. So that's my interesting fact, is that if you want information on any of these, you can just head to the blog and take a look and learn more.
So I've got an interesting fact now. Okay, so my interesting fact would be, it's not so much an interesting fact, I just think we should kind of make it clear to everyone that these reports cover sales and rental, right?
Yeah.
So if you're interested in the state of the market from, maybe you're thinking of buying somewhere, you know, all that information is in there. You can see the fluctuations and themes across the market in the various Emirates. And on the other side of things, if you want to see how much rent in a particular area, if you're looking maybe to move area, all the data is in there, right? Yeah. So it works either way, whether you're a tenant, whether you're a landlord, whether you're a property mogul. Whether you have a business, whether you have a property empire, it works for everyone.
Yeah, it works for everyone. And I think, speaking of the Dubai market, because that's really one of the main markets in this country, and it's indicative of all of the others as well, right? What we've actually done this year is slightly different. So before, I think this is how a lot of people would think as well. Okay, fine, there's affordable and then there's luxury. But I think now, with the amount of projects that are being announced, with the amount of communities that exist, really that divide between affordable and luxury has gotten bigger.
It's got wider. It's a canyon now.
And so obviously the market in between turns into something that we call mid-tier, right? It doesn't fall in affordable, it doesn't fall in luxury. It kind of has bits and pieces from both. It could have an affordability pricing factor, but the amenities could be more luxury.
Should we give an example for the listeners of an area of each that would fall into each? Yes, so one that would fall into affordable would be potentially, I suppose, International City.
Yeah, so I think areas like International City, Demak Hills too, these could be maybe areas that are older with not too many amenities in each of the units. Again, from a pricing perspective, it's going to be great for entry-level buyers, renters, things like that. On the mid-tier segment, this is basically a more, I think, encompassing sort of segment, because you'll have areas such as, say, Jumeirah Lake Towers, but you'll also have areas like Silicon Oasis.
Yeah.
And it's kind of different from that perspective. So even from a villa's perspective, just to get an understanding, it's areas like Moudon. You know, things like that. Wherein,
what about Mira? Would that be?
Yeah, Mira would also be considered. mid-tier, then you have springs, you have a mix of old new communities. It's dependent on what is available in that market. And then luxury, I think that's pretty clear what that would be. You have obviously your Palms, you have downtown, you
Emirates
have
Hills.
Emirates Hills, you have all of these kind of areas which are heavily marketed as luxury based on
Al Barari, is that fall
yes.
into?
Yeah, of
Yes, of course.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place looks well. I've been there. It is very nice. When I say I've been there, I don't live there, and I won't be living there anytime soon. I don't think, but it looks very nice.
No, inshallah soon. Come on, Richard.
You never know.
Yeah,
You never know. I might move up from into the luxury
Yeah, into the luxury
sector.
segment.
Yeah.
Based on the data from the buy transactions, I believe it was about 800,000 plus rental transactions, with a majority of them actually being renewals, which makes sense because even me personally as a tenant.
I was to say I'm one of those.
Exactly. I was actually looking to move. I went through the whole process, did everything, and then I was like, you know what? And I went back to my landlord like, hey, so can we renew? And that's kind of how that process went because the prices now are just
Yeah, and I do
insane.
think when we look at the sales transactions,
Hmm.
and with regard to ready properties as more so on the ready property side of things, I wonder how much is driven by those high rents that people are now thinking,
Yes. I
do I
could.
keep paying this,
Mm.
or do I take? Is now the time for me to, rather than keep,
Buy.
yeah,
Yeah.
throw it? No, it's not dead money rent because it does offer you some flexibility,
Mm.
right? But maybe if I'm going to pay that in rent, why am I not paying that off a mortgage or whatever? Do you know what I
Whatever it
mean?
is,
Is it? Yeah.
agreed. That's basically Dubai.
Right. Okay.
In a nutshell, in a we've barely touched the topic. If you want to know more, definitely check out the sales and rental reports. Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ajman, there definitely have been increases.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty indicative of the country as a whole.
Yep.
Those are fairly stable markets as well. Prices have definitely gone up, but they've not gone up so drastically
As Dubai. Yeah.
as Dubai has. What I think is interesting of note, considering that this is the first time that we've actually published the Ras Al Khaimah report, I think that's something that we should talk a little bit about.
Yes, I agree. This is the first yearly
Yes.
RAC report we've had, and I think RAC is a really interesting market
Yes.
at the moment. I think mainly because it's in quite a unique position
Yeah.
among the Emirates. That it's well, obviously we know it's close proximity to Dubai, but it's kind of a booming emirate from a planning potential. I mean, we know there's the wind resort coming off the coast of Marjan Island, which is a huge deal. I mean, that resort is epic in scale.
And that's not the only resort that's coming to Ras Al Khaimah. There are about 32 plus hotels or resorts that are planned for the Ras Al Khaimah market, which is an astounding number if you think about it, right?
I mean, those properties are already there on Marjan Island.
Yes.
There's more being built all the time. There's hotels opening up down there all the time. I mean, I know that quite well because relatives live down there. So I've seen it over the last few years and how it has changed.
It's just completely rapidly developed. And I think the Ras Al Khaimah market has just really exploded in a way where the luxury prices are coming into the market now, right? So in the middle, I mean, previously you had luxury meets affordability, and now it's just pure luxury, right? And keeping in mind with that, if we move to the ready side of things, even all of the properties there have really like exploded pricing wise. It's no longer as affordable as it was before.
No, I mean, I think there's been a noticeable shift upwards, which is, look, let's be honest, it was anticipated, right? With everything that's going on down there. I mean, I think if you're not particularly familiar with RAC, I mean, Al Marjan Island, obviously the wind resort is going to be off of Al Marjan Island. Al Hamra is very, very close. I mean, it's literally a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, it is.
From Marjan Island. So let's take a 1-bedroom apartment in Al Hamra. It's 500 and an average listed for an average of 533,000 dirhams, and that is a 7.84% increase on last year, right? So I mean, that is a lot, but 533, that still doesn't seem
Yeah, it doesn't seem as bad as some of the other prices that we've heard and we've seen and things like that. And
Mm.
again, I think this is indicative of the rental prices matching up as well, right? Because you can rent in Alhambra roughly, I think, around 38,000. That's generally what starting rents
Yeah,
range
roughly around
from.
there. Yeah.
And if it's priced at 533, that's not too bad.
No,
Yeah.
I
But
think
what area would you compare it to in Rock? I assume
Margin.
Marjan, yeah.
Yes, you would. Yeah, I mean, literally, because it's down the road.
Yeah, rental prices are interestingly very similar there because I believe they started around the 41, 42K mark.
Yeah.
And then obviously they rise from there, but that's not too bad if you compare it to Alhambra at about 37,000.
All I can see is, I think the thing is, a lot of people have looked at rack potentially for investment
Yes.
because,
And I mean, this is my personal insight. I think a lot of people also view it as a retirement home.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's very much an older community down there, expat community as well, that you don't often see in Dubai. So when you go down there, you see, I don't mean it, but you don't see, if you're in the malls here and that, you don't see that many older people. Do you know? I don't mean
I
it
know
in a
what you mean. I
horrible
agree,
way,
I agree,
but
yeah.
like, and in RAC, there is sometimes there's a bit of a noticeable difference there. And also
Yeah.
there's a pace of life down there where I think,
That is very different to how life is in the major cities, right? It's a
yes,
lot more laid back, and I think that's one of the main points of appeal of Rock as well. You can live by the beach. The golf course is there. It
yeah.
still has malls. It still has a lot of attractions and things like
You
that.
said a golf course. That's a big sell of Alhambra, right?
Yeah.
It's Alhambra golf course. It's literally right,
Exactly. And if you combine all of that together for the price point that you're getting, if you want to say maintain a similar lifestyle in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, it's going to cost you maybe 4, 5 times that at the
Yeah.
very least. So it's kind of like you found like a quick hack to get all of those amenities and all of that. It's
Mhm.
just that it's located somewhere slightly different, but it has its own charm.
It does
Yeah.
indeed. I think that's a really
Yeah.
good summary up there.
We ended 2023 with about 130,000 plus transactions, right? Which
Mhm.
would average somewhere between like 10 to 12,000 per
Per
month.
month, yeah.
Um, and already the numbers for January look really, really good. We have
Mm.
about 8 to 9,000 transactions as of now, and I assume towards the end of the month, as everything comes into a close, that would rise again.
Mhm.
And I think 2024 is really going to keep this pace moving forward. Personally, my insight is really, I think when things are going to change is when a lot of those units are going to come in from all of those off-plan projects that have been launched.
Yeah.
And then we'll actually see what will happen. But that is in the future, and things could change, and things could move in such a way that maybe those units won't even be enough.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? I
Yeah.
think it's going to be
It's very
interesting
cyclical, right? This market. That's the main thing.
when supply meets demand, if it ever does.
If it ever does.
Right. Then it will be interesting to see how things go. But I don't think we're anywhere near that
No.
stage at this point. Whether it's the market will continue to, I love this word, we're going to use it again, skyrocket at the same pace
Yes.
that it has done. I don't know, but I think the market is, well, look, I don't think we're looking at a drop off anytime soon.
No,
put it
I don't
that way.
think so. If you are like us and you are interested in the property market, make sure to take a look at all of the different reports we have on My Bayut. So that's Bayut.com/MyBayut. And basically go explore, go learn. If you're more interested in the transaction side of things, definitely take a look at Dubai Transactions, which obviously is for transactions in Dubai. It has information on both the rental and the sales market. And I think that basically wraps up our episode today. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, any feedback, anything of that sort, make sure to leave a comment in the section below.
Yeah, and be nice to a man and just abuse me.
No. You should be nice to both of us. That's how it should be. And yeah, that's basically it. We will catch you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys.
You're listening to the Watercooler Edit with Chris and Rich.